Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 1st to the 15th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you are interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be located in the description box below. So before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Let's see what your chakra message is for this time. Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. All right, these three. Fantastic. We'll start here with determination. I love it. The solar plexus chakra really coming through. You have a gut feel for things and you're astoundingly determined to reach your goals, to see what it is that you have set for yourself and see yourself moving forward towards something more powerful, something more dedicated to yourself. You seem at times, Aquarius, to be moving against the waters of the world. And that can feel overwhelming because it feels like the world's emotions are moving one way and you are moving another. But don't lose sight of what it is that you want, the bigger picture of what it is that you desire, of where it is that you're heading, of what it is that you need, because you're opening doors for yourself that would otherwise have been shut if you kind of threw in the towel and said, you know what, you're right, I'm done. I'm not moving forward the same way that everybody else wants me to, and so what's the point? Here's the thing. It's your life, it's not theirs. Yes, sometimes we get frustrated because the road is so much harder than we thought it was going to be. And we'll find ourselves saying, if I knew it was going to be this hard. But here's the thing. If you have a purpose, if you have a dream, an understanding, a passion that is moving you forward, even if you didn't expect it to be this hard, it is not something you can easily walk away from. So you're moving forward in that determination, Aquarius, in that dedication. And as you do so, you're realizing a power about yourself, about your soul, about your dedication that is really opening up the world to you. And then we have listening. This is the throat chakra. And this is so terribly important. Listening is going to open up doors for you. It can also be kind of your superpower. That, along with your determination, listening and determination, is going to open up doors for you. You are going to find that by listening to yourself, listening to what your body needs, listening to what your soul needs, listening to your heart, listening to the energy around you, but also listening to really what people are saying. Because so often, especially during the world right now, it is who can shout over the other, who can speak, more authoritatively, more forcefully, more loudly, that gets the attention. And here, nobody's listening. And it is going to be opening up the power of simply listening, of simply embracing this truth, embracing this understanding, embracing the power of listening. And as it opens the world to you, it opens you to the world, because you're going to be hearing it so much more differently. And you're going to be embracing you so much more differently than you have before, because you're going to be listening to what is truly needed and what is truly wanted from you and for you during this time. So our throat chakra, and if you're like me, I always thought of the throat chakra as talking, but the throat chakra is so much more. The throat chakra is where we hold our truth and how we perceive the world. So that is astoundingly important to you. And then we have holistic health. This is trying a natural approach to things. Now, of course, talk to your healthcare professional, most definitely. But this is saying that sometimes getting back to the basics, getting back to the roots of things, not having so much salt, not having so much sugar, not having so much stress can help with your health, all right? And this is taking a natural approach to help alleviate these components that are holding you back. And this is also just listening to your body, looking at your body. And sometimes you can have ailments. For me, I had a terrible stomach. And nobody knew. Nobody knew. It was just my stomach. It was just the way it was. And then one day, and I know it's not the same for everybody, and I know this sounds so terribly cliche, especially now, but I stopped eating wheat. And then I found out that I am horrifically allergic to wheat. And so here, it's looking at these things, and it's just listening to your body, and maybe even trying eliminating things and sitting there and saying, you know what? I need a road that makes me feel well, that makes me feel powerful, that makes me feel like I can live my life fully, instead of it always being so painful, and it just being, well, this is just who you are type of thing. So going back to a holistic health, a holistic way of looking at things, can be very freeing, very liberating. So for you here, Aquarius, it's taking a more natural approach. It's not disregarding what a healthcare professional says, but it's also listening to your body. And it might be with certain things, it's like, I just can't live in this pain any longer. And this can't be what I'm supposed to be for the rest of my life. Your left-hand side here is your inner self, okay? The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side is your public arena, your public self. Excuse me. So we're starting off with the Two of Pentacles. You're balancing a lot. You're going to forget to take care of you. That's where holistic health comes in. Remember you. Remember to keep yourself balanced. You have the King of Swords, because if you remember you, you can rise to the level of king. You have this determination, this dedication, this opening of mind. This is also the Warrior King. So you cut through doubts and fears. You know where it is that you want to stand. And you're not taking anybody's bull, Aquarius. This is also you represented in the minor arcana. You are represented by the swords in the minor arcana. You are represented by the star in the major arcana. You then have the Nine of Cups, wishes coming true, beauty coming in. Other people are going to be more able to see this than you are. So this is saying here, look at your strengths, look at your beauty, look at the prosperity that is around you. And then you have the Death card, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. You have a transformation coming forward. And you are going to see this as the great equalizer. You're also going to see this as the great transformation of yourself, of what you need from your life as you move forward and where it is that you want to be. You're not the same person. You weren't the same person when you woke up this morning, and you won't be the same person when you go to sleep. We are constantly and forever transforming. Right? It can be in astoundingly little ways, but they kind of roller coaster, they snowball into something greater. This is also Scorpio energy, a time frame of October 23rd to November 21st. Then we have the world. Your heart is opening up to the world. And yes, right now the world seems rather closed, but it is, and the world is rather closed. But there is a sense here of being able to move forward in victory. Like once you find your balance, once you find what it is that you desire, the world opens up to you in victory, in prosperity, in bounty, and in truth. The Ten of Swords. It has been a long and bloody battle. It does not mean that everything has been horrific all the time, but it does mean that you have been through the ringer, and your mind kind of has this way of saying, okay, you know what, just prepare yourself for the other shoe dropping. Just get ready for things kind of falling apart, because you've been so conditioned, and your heart is saying here, it's time to move past that. It's time to move towards greater truth and greater power within our mind. This is your heart and your mind coming together. And as you do so, you have the Virgo energy right here, August 23rd to September 22nd being the time frame, looking at that inner light, shining yourself forward, looking at what you desire and seeing that passion, that truth, and that power. In the public arena, you have the Tower, okay? Things have fallen apart to be rebuilt. You've been pushed out of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. We always say, oh, it's a tower time. And when we say that, we mean, oh, wow, it's been really super hard. But this can also be something that just pushes you out of your comfort zone. You know, divinity wasn't seeing you move forward the way that divinity wanted you to. And when divinity wants something, it's like, ready or not, here it comes. So this doesn't have to be bad. I don't want you to be afraid of a tower time. But this can also be in the public arena. You know, this can be 16 years or better of trying to do things one way and finding out that it doesn't work, and being pushed out of your comfort zone and saying, you know what, maybe it's time to take a chance on me. Maybe it's time to look at things in a different way. Because then you have Temperance coming forward. You have Sagittarius energy, a time frame of November 22nd to December 21st. It's balance, it's harmony, it's understanding, it's pouring in the waters, it's gaining a deeper, look and comprehension of yourself and what you desire. And it's learning then with the Seven of Wands when to stand up for yourself and when to sit there and say, you know what, it's just not worth the fight. So here with the Seven of Wands, you stand in your truth, you stand in your power, you stand in your passion, and then you also know when it's just going to drain your energy. It's just going to drain your energy to move forward to get everybody to understand the way that you're moving forward. You're not living for everybody else, you're living for you. And that's a powerful realization, and it leads you to the Empress. It leads you to claiming a throne and claiming a voice that had once been lost to you. And you might not even have been aware of it because you were looking at things in such a different way, that the gentle femininity, the sensual understanding of the Empress was not what you were seeing before. And it wasn't what you wanted. You could have wanted to move forward in a very different way, in a very kind of powerful, forceful way. And this is much more gentle, but no less powerful. Let's see the people who are going to be aiding you during this time. Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. Who will be aiding Aquarius? October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. Who will be aiding Aquarius? October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. Who will be aiding Aquarius? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. All right, these three. So we have the Prince of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is somebody who is very passionate in the way that they move forward. Now, you're an air sign. This is a fire sign. So your knowledge, your understanding kind of fuels their fire. So this is somebody who is very much going to speak to you in the speed that they are moving forward in the passion that they are alighting within you, and the way that you want to move forward towards your goals. Now, with the people who aid, and later on the people who we look at, who you need to be mindful of, know that you don't have to know these people in real life, because we have so much information coming at us so quickly. It could be the way their message is formed to you, what it speaks to you as, in passion or in cerebral understanding or in emotions or in a grounding and connecting. But it is how this message comes to you, and it can also be from whom this message comes, that you see what you need to be mindful of or what aids you. This is going to aid you towards your passion, towards your understanding, towards the way that you want to move forward. This person is going to be very passionate, very dedicated, very determined, and very much looking at what they desire. They're going to be speaking to the passion that you have, the fire that you have inside of you, and they're going to be opening up doorways to you that you hadn't expected. And then this is going to lead you to justice. This is Libra energy, September 23rd to October 22nd. This is somebody who's going to speak of justice to you. Something about balancing the scales, cutting through doubts and fears, seeing what it is that you desire, seeing what it is that you want, looking at something greater, something more. And as the scales become balanced, and as you start to see this justice becoming part of your life, it doesn't have to be that anybody else gets what justice is coming in, what balance is coming in, what is harmonizing within you. But think of your life right now. What Spirit is showing me is an orchestra playing, and one instrument is out of tune, and it can throw off the whole entire orchestra. It can throw off all the music, or just think of any music that you really, really like. And if there is something that is off, everything is kind of off. Everything doesn't have the same feeling to it that it did before. And that's what this person here with this Libra energy is going to help you harmonize and understand and move forward in this power. And then we have the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right, this is going to be very powerful, especially if you were born on the cusp with Capricorn. This is going to be somebody who really speaks a language that you understand. Also has this interconnectedness way of looking at things. Very grounded, very reasonable, very kind of down to earth and dedicated. Now, this is a person who can be also kind of just a little bit overbearing, just like the fire sign energy can be a little bit overbearing in their passion, and the Libra energy can be a little bit overbearing in the knowledge and the justice that they're bringing, or the idea of justice. The earth sign energy can be a little bit overbearing in their stubbornness. But this is going to be connections in the way that you want to move forward, things that you are looking at and looking towards, opening up your mind, your understanding. Yeah, and seeing things more passionately, more reasonably, and more powerfully. This then leads you to the Two of Pentacles. You need this during this time for your inner self to find balance within. You're trying to juggle everything else. It's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. If you do not balance you, you will not be able to balance anything else. Because it's kind of like trying to drink from a cup that is cracked, that can't hold water. So it's trying to juggle when you don't have arms. That's really what I'm seeing here. And it's not going to happen. It can't be what it is that you want it to be if you don't take care of you. Emotions are running high, and your way of dealing with it, Aquarius, is going to be like, you know what? I'll just take on more. I'll just take on more and more and more and more and more. I will take my resentment and I will bottle it up deep down inside of me because people need me. And you are so good at being that guiding light for people. That's why you're represented by the star. You're so good at being that guiding light, of pouring the waters into the world, of healing, of connection, of compassion, of understanding, of grace. All right? And so here with the Two of Pentacles, it's remembering you. And for your inner self, as you're looking at things, you need, and it's a need, you need to remember you. Because you're embracing the King of Swords. You're embracing yourself as king in the minor arcana. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You're knowing where it is that you stand. You can feel a little restricted by responsibilities, as kings do, and quite frankly, as all monarchs will. But you are looking at your responsibilities not as, okay, so sometimes you will look at them and resent them, be angry at them, be like, this is not what I thought it would be. This is not what I signed up for. What the heck? But the King of Swords is cutting through the doubts and the fears, is knowing that responsibilities forge us, just as our swords are forged, just as our mind is forged. And as an air sign energy for you, Aquarius, having your mind forged, having this understanding coming around you, having this determination be a part of you, is so intrinsically you. You are also represented by the warrior, king, and queen in the minor arcana. You are a warrior of knowledge, of truth, of cutting through doubts and fears, of knowing what it is that you stand for, of knowing where it is that you want to be. And it can take a while to kind of figure that out. That's why we have the butterfly in the background of his throne, because the mind constantly evolves and changes and, kind of throws away its old shell and becomes its new self with the information that we are getting, the way that we are interpreting things. And so here, the mind is a terribly strong power for you. And you are going to see yourself embracing your strength, embracing your desire, embracing the way that you want to move forward. And as you do so, you have the Nine of Cups, wishes being granted, beauty coming in, a radiance that is around you that other people are going to see much more easily than you are. And when people see this, they are going to try and oppose you. They are going to try to kind of knock you down a bit, say, what gives you the right, or, who do you think you are, type of deal, or, prove this, prove that. And you don't have to. This is simply living in your radiance. And it doesn't matter if what you're doing is so absolutely alien to everybody else that they do not understand. It's not for them to understand. It is for you to understand. And as you move forward in this wealth of knowledge, in this wealth of power, in this sense of self, you embrace a beauty, you embrace a purpose. Wishes are granted because the radiance of your soul comes forward. And it leads you to the Death card. It leads you to the Scorpio energy, walking between worlds, between the spirit world and the practical world. It leads you to seeing things differently and engagingly and understandably. And as you have this dying away of the old self and this rebirth of the new, as you have this sense of becoming more and becoming more empowered and becoming more emboldened and becoming more of what it is that you want, you're going to find that the person that you once were, the timidity that you once had, the doubts that once plagued, start to lift. And you move forward in a genuine acceptance of self. But you also move forward in a transformation, which is going to be very good for you. You're going to find it suits you to be transformed during this time. And it also suits you, Aquarius, more than you think it does, to embrace transformation, to embrace things moving forward in an unexpected and beautiful way. Because you have this transformation of the mind that is such a part of you, the way of learning new things, the way of taking things in, understanding it, comprehending it, looking at it differently. And so here, the world opens up to you because your heart opens up to the world. It's not being held back by fear and doubt and kind of degradation anymore. It's not sitting there and thinking, I'm not worthy of this. Because the world looks at us and says, I'm opened. And when we're really little, we look at the world and it's like, I can be anything, right? And then reality hits in. And we start to realize, I can't. I can't be as much as I thought I could be. Or, people start speaking negativity over us. And advantages and disadvantages are real. But what the world is showing you during this time, as you balance yourself, as well as you are trying or wanting to balance everything else, you are looking at what doors were barred. Now, they were either doors that negativity was spoken over you, and the doors were barred because of what other people said. Or it is the doors were barred because of fear and doubt and apprehension for ourselves, around us. And here, you're looking at it, and it's like, no more. No more am I held back. Your heart is opening up the doors to you. The heart is finding that what once was locked, once was barred from you, is now opened. The monsters aren't guarding that pathway anymore. And the monsters are our doubts and our fears and our apprehensions and the responsibilities of the world and the thinking, I can't do this. The fact of the matter is you can. It might be different than the way everybody else does it, but you can still do you. And you can still live your truth. And then we have the 10. The 10 of Swords is learning. The 10 of Swords is a sense of things dying way of being reborn. It is the minor arcana death card, right? The way I look at this is in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is not as kind of violent a scene as here, because it is a person laid, spewed on the ground, with 10 swords in their back. And it shows every year a lesson learned. And with those 10 swords in the back, those are valuable. You know, swords being forged, and just as we are forged, it is expensive. It takes time and it takes effort, just like wisdom does. It takes time and it takes effort. And nobody becomes wise by having the easiest of lives. People become wise by having to grit their teeth and move forward. People become wise because of the adversities and the despairs they have had to live through. And so here with the 10 of Swords, it's each year, those despairs, those heartbreaks, those pains, those disappointments that you had to live through, and you are forging forward in. This is the eye of the storm. This is the calm before you rise, and you face the battles. But you walk through the battles with more wisdom and more understanding, because life is constantly a battle. Constantly a battle to live our truth, constantly a battle to find our voice, constantly a battle to know where we stand and why we want to stand there. This can be being the attacker or being the attackee, okay? Or the attacked. And you're going to find here that in different parts of our lives, we are interchangeably one or the other. And with the 10 of Swords, we are realizing so much more about ourselves, about what we desire, about where we want to be, about what we stand for, about what we think, about who we are, than we thought we would be. And the 10 of Swords has an ending of a cycle when it comes to our mind, when it comes to the way that we think, when it comes to the way that we want to move forward. And it leaves us to the 6 of Swords. And this is taking up our knowledge, taking up our understanding, and moving forward. The 6 of Swords is saying, you know what? I have what I need, and I can move forward towards where it is I want to be, because you have these blessings here. And as you see them, mentally and emotionally, and this is a time where your mind and your heart are really working together, which is astoundingly important, okay? Because I see us as emotional beings. As emotional beings, we need our hearts and our minds to work together and really move us forward. So when we have ourselves just being purely emotional, it can be in severely irrational time. And when we have ourselves being purely practical, it can just totally negate all emotional truth and have us being rather cold. We need to be right in the middle. And so we're taking up our knowledge. We're taking up everything that we have learned, because we have the knowledge here with the swords and the water here with the emotions. And now we are moving forward. Is it scary? Yeah, of course it is. But the mind and the heart come together. And it moves us forward to a place that we hadn't expected, because we see a cycle ending. And by the mind and the heart coming together, by sitting there and saying, I have validity of emotional self, and I have validity of mental self, and I don't need to prove any of this to anybody. This is simply and surely me. The world starts to open, and we move forward looking at ourselves. You have the repeat of the number 9. You're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. Now, it can very well be emotionally, okay? But you have 10 here. So 10 is a completion of a cycle mentally. So mentally, you've kind of come to the conclusion. Emotionally, you still have to get there, which can be very hard. It's kind of like, you know, logically, this is the way to move forward, or this is what needs to be done. Emotionally, it still takes time. You know, it still takes time for the heart to understand. And so here, you are turning inward. You are looking at things much more openly, much more honestly with yourself. Virgo energy, okay, also is coming into play. But your roots are all major arcana. So your roots are the heavy hitters. Your crown right here, major arcana in the heart and in the public arena. Minor arcana in the inner self. So as soon as you have yourself balanced, you embrace personal power, which isn't going to be quite as difficult as seeing that the door is open, seeing that the world moves forward with you with a victory, with a sense of, you know, greater understanding, with a sense of freedom, with a sense of your spirit guides, your angels, divinity guiding you forward. And in the public arena, what you had once thought was kind of the absolute truth of success, the absolute truth of power, the absolute truth of understanding. And your public arena during this time is a heavy hitter, because you have all major arcana cards here but one, okay? that starts to fall apart. The idea that it has to be a certain way falls apart. Why? Because you've looked inward. You've said, what is it that I've wanted? What is it that I want? And you might see that it's astoundingly different than what you were told you were supposed to want, where you were told that you were supposed to be, who you were told that you were supposed to be. And it's like, I'm not like that. I don't want that. Where do I need to be? And how do I need to move forward? It's exciting. This is also a time emotionally where you're going to find yourself really liking quiet. I mean, you might be like me and very much kind of like a home bug, very much a quiet kind of introspective person, right? So this might not be that different than the way that you usually are. But if you're a very social person, you might find that this time of being the hermit, and also this time in the world, has been very, very hard. It has been very hard. But as you're looking at things openly and honestly for yourself, as you're sitting there and saying, this is what I want, and this is what I need for my life, and this is where I want to be, you're seeing yourself guided by your star. You're seeing yourself guided by the highest form of your perfection. And it doesn't have to mean that anybody else thinks that it's perfect. It can simply be perfect for you. And if you have that belief, and you have that understanding in yourself, and you have that power of truth, it opens you up. And it does crumble traditional ideas and ideals. Okay? It can blow your mind. You can sit there during this time and be like, wow, I never thought of it like that. And just think, wow, mind blown. And as it blows your mind, it has you looking at things more openly and more honestly for yourself. It has you looking at what is grounding you. You also know that during this time in the public arena, you are on a spiritual journey. You might very well, Aquarius, want to sit there and say, okay, divinity, where is it that you want me to be? How is it that you want me to move forward? What is it that you are asking of me instead of what I am demanding from this world? This world right now has a lot of people demanding, a lot of people shouting, a lot of people screaming, and not a lot of people listening. That is one of your superpowers during this time. Listen. See where it is that you want to be. See what it is that you desire. Your mind will be blown. It might be a little bit blown. You might be sitting there one day and find an answer and just be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And it can very well be that you find an answer that is kind of like, oh my gosh. It's kind of like the difference between a little bell ringing and, the bells in a tower ringing. There's a difference between them. And so depending on where you are in this journey and depending on what you are going through, depends how differently the kind of like, oh my gosh, hits you. The tower comes. And it's also looking at a tower time in the public arena. It's looking at, hardships, pains, disappointments. You might be going through this tower time now. You might have been going through it for years. Excuse me. And it has changed. It has changed what you see. It has changed what you desire. It has changed, who you are. But it has changed you. It has changed you for the better, even if you don't think that's true at the time. Down the road, things might become more clear. How? This I cannot answer you. And it might not be what you're thinking of right now. It might not be the tower time that divinity is talking about. Okay? Because if you're sitting there and say, this was absolute degradation, this was absolutely hell, how could anything good come of it? That can be where you are. And I know people do ask that. How could anything have come of this? Anything good have come of this? Or why did I even have to live it? I can't tell you that. That is between you and divinity. And if you need to sit there and rage at divinity for the injustice done, for the anger that has been, for the words that have been swallowed and the pain that has been had, then that's what you need to do. Because divinity doesn't stop believing in you just because you get mad at it. It just doesn't. It leads you to temperance. It then leads you to a balance. And that could have been a very specific message for a very specific person. Balance comes in. Harmony. Pouring the water into each other. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a gold cup and a silver cup. The water is pouring in the day and the night, the shadow self and the self that we want the world to see. And it is an embracing of beauty. It is embracing of understanding. It's a balance coming in. A sense of truth, a sense of understanding, a sense of peace, a sense of harmony. And it leads you to knowing what battles to fight and what to simply say, you know what, no, I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm done. I don't have to prove myself to you. I don't want to prove myself to you. I'm not fighting to have you believe in me. I'm fighting in this world to stand in my truth, to know my bliss, to not live my bliss every moment of every day, because that is unreasonable. But it's to have happy. It's to have happy as the silver lining around things. It's to have that thing where, yes, the job might be the job, bills paid, food on the table type of thing. And that is admirable, okay? Don't let anybody tell you that it isn't. And then you can have something on the side. Now, your something on your side does not have to be that all of a sudden you have like this amazing, career on the side. It can be the thing on your side is your family. It can be the thing on the side is your dog, your cat, having a beautiful home, going out for walks in a park, coming to a place that is quiet and peaceful for you. That could be your thing on the side. We like to think of things in grand scales. It doesn't have to be a grand scale, okay? If it brings you happiness, it brings peace, it brings centering into your life, then it is grand. The Seven of Wands says when to fight the battles and when they're just not worth fighting. The people who, might change their mind, but then you have the people who never will change their minds. They believe what they believe, they see what they see, and that's their truth. They can argue with you up and down the Mississippi. I mean, they really can. They can curse you out. They can sit there and say what you do is foolish, what you're fighting for is ridiculous, but it is still your truth. So you know when to fight and when to walk away. And sometimes it is far more courageous to walk away than it is to fight. And that brings you to the Empress. I see the Empress as claiming her throne, as claiming her power, as knowing her truth, as saying, this is who I am. This is my nurturing love. Now we think of this a lot of times, and you could say here, she might be pregnant, she might not be pregnant. A lot of times the Empress is viewed of as pregnant. So we think of this as, the Earth Mother. And a very calm, very gentle, very loving. Have you ever seen somebody give birth? I mean, you don't have to actually have seen somebody give birth, but a video of it or something like that on the internet, or just, heard about it, heard people talking. It is not a calm and, lovely thing. It is absolutely, it's terrifying. All right. So here with the number 3, with divinity, okay, because 3 is a divine number, with the Empress, when we say Earth Mother, when we say, when we show pregnancy, we're not showing something calm and genteel and beautiful and, all those things that we would like to believe it is. Okay? Because back in the day, and even now, giving birth is highly risky. It can very well be. And so here, with the Empress, it's power and it's strength. But it's strength that's forgotten and overlooked. It is, the screams of determination. It is fight that, has, tiny little people, tiny, small, little will-o'-the-wisps of women pick up cars to save their children, fight and strength and power. We look at Mother Nature. Okay, yes, Mother Nature, has, you think of beautiful, soft fields with, wheat blowing in the distance. It's also tornadoes. It's also hurricanes. It's also, thunderstorms that strike down trees. So when we look at the Empress, we look at this beautiful feminine energy, the divine feminine. But we also need to remember the strength that is behind that. And that strength, that voice, can very easily be forgotten. Do not forget it. Do not forget it within yourself, Aquarius. Because it is going to be a powerful truth of you and for you. It's like you bring a feminine touch. It doesn't matter if you identify as feminine or not, But there is this energy of gentility and serenity and peace and determination and fierceness and fire and strength and passion behind you. And that's what you're bringing forward in the public arena. And people might not be as ready for that as they might think they are. Let's go deeper. Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020, Aquarius. Show me more deeply. Show me more deeply. Show me more deeply. Aquarius, show me more deeply. Show me more deeply. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me deeply. Guide this reading and show me deeply. Okay. With 2 bonus cards. Oops. There we go. All right. And let's look at the people we have to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people Aquarius needs to be mindful of? October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. Who are the people Aquarius needs to be mindful of? October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. Who are the people Aquarius needs to be mindful of? October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, 4. Okay. I never like it when the people to be mindful of outweigh the people who are going to aid us. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing at all. But just, yeah. Now, just know that you're going to need to call on your strength and your judgment during this time. So we start off here with the Princess of Cups. This is somebody, the Princess of Cups is the atypical teenager. They don't have to be a teenager, but they're definitely acting like it. You know, where it's kind of like there's just trauma, there's drama, it's chaos all the time, their emotions are here and there, and it's exhausting, okay? They're going to want you to get involved, take their side, you know, can you believe this? It's like, oh my gosh, just stop. Just stop. And then you're really going to want to say it to that person, just stop. Then we have the King of Swords. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all right? This is a person who, you have a person here who's too emotional. This is a person who's way too logical. And you might actually really like this person, okay? Like really understand where they're coming from because air sign energy kind of calls to air sign energy. But you're not always going to be able to buffer for them or kind of make excuses for them. It's kind of like, okay, listen, you're cutting to the point, I get it. But this is going to be a person who sometimes doesn't take the human factor into things, the human emotion into things. And that's going to be something that doesn't sit right for you. This can be somebody who's very blunt, very much just like, show me the facts, I'll give you the answers. And that isn't always going to sit as well with you as you want it to. This could be a boss that is, you know, it's kind of like bottom line. Just show me the bottom line. You know, get me the papers together, show me the bottom line type of thing. This is going to be a person who really comes from things in that manner, in that sense of just show me the facts. And then we have the Lovers. Gemini energy, time frame, May 21st to June 20th. This could be actually a lover who is being very distant, is being kind of very, oh, excuse me, very much too logical, not taking in your feelings the way that you want to move forward. They have a lot on their plate, and you do too, so it's not an excuse. But they have a lot on the plate, and instead of looking at things and letting the sensuality come forward, they're going to look at things and kind of be more bottom line, these are the facts, this is what needs to be done type of thing. So you might not be feeling that emotional connection that you usually do with them. This can also be with the Gemini energy. This can also be a person who has duality to them, you know, who is looking at one thing and looking at the other and bouncing here and bouncing there, can be astoundingly forgetful, you know, kind of taking on a little bit more than they can handle. And then we have the Queen of Swords, air sign energy once again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So this definitely makes me think that for a lot of you, this could be a relationship. This could be a person where the relationship, you both are being rather snippy with each other, okay? Because one person is snipping and the other person is snipping back. And we all know that once everybody starts getting snippy at each other, it's really hard to break that. It really, really is. So Aquarius here, there is a sense, and this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This could be somebody who, I mean, we have a myriad different arrays of soulmates. You know, these are people who speak to our souls, who speak to ourselves. But there can be a conflict of mind, a conflict of understanding, a conflict of what we desire. This could also be kind of like, you know, these could be partners, that aren't related to you or in your world at all, that are just being too blunt, too cutting, to the point. Like, they have valid opinions, okay, but the way that they're presenting things is just really super negative. So just be mindful of that. We start here with the Six of Cups. This can be very reminiscent of the past, the world opening up to you. Oh, I like that. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. The repeat of the number 6 is saying internally you have to take care of yourself. Six is the most loving, most caring, most giving of the numbers. So you need to have that loving, caring energy around you. You have the Hierophant as the world opens, as you kind of see the battles that have been fought. You embrace your truth, your understanding. It's kind of like you're going back to your rooted self. This is saying, this is who I am. And it's not being dogmatic in the sense of, these are the rules, like these are the rules that were taught by anybody, but it's like, this is my truth. This is who I am, and this is who I need to be. It then leads you to the Queen of Cups as you move forward. Water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. You move forward with heart. And with your heart, you are being the queen of the heart. So you're being caring, compassionate, understanding. You're going to be more comfortable behind the scenes. Knight of Pentacles, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. As you balance the scales, you move forward in determination, dedication, passion, and prosperity. It's slow go, though, which can be very irritating because we always want things we always want things right now in our time. And our time is like yesterday, right? But these are having things this is having spirit move you forward. And they're having you move forward in spirit's time. We have the Two of Cups. You become a student of the heart as things have fallen apart and as you see the balance of yourself. Justice comes in as you stand your ground. And you have the Ace of Wands. You have God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of clarity, of determination, of fire, and there is the brilliance that is around you. Now, I don't have you taking it quite yet. We have the Knight of Cups moving forward, defending the heart, and then we have the High Priestess, the veil being lifted from the eyes. So if you take it in one of your subconscious messages, that would be awesome, but you have here, in this subconscious message here with this deck to go deeper. But right now we have you, being passionate, being determined, and it's permeating everything. It's at the root itself. So as it permeates what you desire, the way that you want to move forward, it's looking at things more openly, more honestly for you and where it is that you want to be within your life and what it is that you desire. So this is the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. And this is really what's settling deeply on your soul. It's like this passion, this gift. So as you're balancing the scales and as you are embracing yourself as a king, you are very nostalgic of the past. You can look at the past or be maybe not even nostalgic, but look at a lot of things that said, oh no, you couldn't do it. And now you're looking at, oh yes, I can. So it's stepping out of the shadow of the past as the world opens up to you. And the world opens up to you and blessings come forward. And then as the world opens up to you and blessings come forward, you have the world in the going deeper, right? And you have the world in the main reading. So the world is really opening up to you, saying, walk through these gates, embrace a new understanding, let yourself move forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated, you hadn't expected, because you're balancing the scales through this rebirth, through this equalizing factor. You're balancing the scales in a way that they haven't been balanced before. Other people have had their hands out. Other people, there have been givers and takers, and you are finding that you are saying, you know what, I need more harmonizing factors. I need a more balanced setting to move forward in as I plant my prosperity, as I see what I desire, as I am moving forward. And that leads you, and I like that, the 6 counting down into the 5, that leads you as the world opens and as you see the hardships that you have been through, that leads you to going back to your rooted self, that leads you to sitting there and saying, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is Taurus energy, of course, the Hierophant. This is April 20th to May 20th. This is the time frame. And this is looking at what you desire, what you want, the way that you're moving forward, the passion. And there's a bit of stubbornness in you. It's kind of like, this is who I am, and I'm not changing. And it's okay to be stubborn like that. It really is. Then you have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, as you move forward, as the doors open, it's saying really here, listen to your heart. Listen to what your heart wants. Listen to what you're passionate about. Listen to what you desire. Listen to where you need to be, because the doors are opening. The Queen is going to be much more comfortable behind the scenes than center stage. So as you go deeper, you're going to be a bit more comfortable behind the scenes, though you are also very much a defender of your prosperity and what you love. So they can go hand in hand. And in the main reading, of course, you are the King of Swords, very much shining through. So as you look deeper at what it is that you desire, you look at the seeds that you are planting, and you're looking at the way that you move forward, the passion that you have, where it is that you want to be, what it is that you desire. And that's going to be a slow go forward. It's going to be excuse me, it's going to be a sense of not being able to move forward as quickly as you would like to. And as you're balancing, as you're gaining an understanding, because we want everything yesterday, and the Knight of Pentacles is the second slowest moving knight. As a sword, you're going to sit there and say, okay, let's just cut through the muck and the mire. Let's move forward. And this is saying, no, let's plant the seeds. Let's look at things. Let's make sure that the soil is good and that they will grow. And let's make sure that we are defending what it is that we truly want and what it is that we truly need. And as you move forward with that understanding, it makes you a student of all the hardships and apprehensions that you have been through, all the hardships, the doubts, the fears, the kind of pushed out of your comfort zone, seeing a path open up to you. And it leads you to a balancing of the scales. But you're also going to find that you are getting inspiration in the most unlikely of places. And there are messages coming to you in profound ways that are making you look at things so absolutely differently than you were before. Justice comes, a cutting through of doubts and of fears as you stand your ground, as you know your truth, but also when things are just a waste of your time. The justice comes in, and you defend this justice. You embrace this justice. And as you do so, you claim your throne and you claim your voice. And the Ace of Wands comes to you. This passion, this power, this determination, this creative energy comes to you. And it permeates every single action that you have during this time to create something more, to embrace something more. It leads you to being a defender of your heart. Again, this is the second slowest moving knight. So you're moving forward very slowly, very steadily. As an air sign energy, you can get a bit frustrated with this. Don't let your frustration ruin the foundation that you are creating. You're turning behind the veil, right? You're lifting the veil up. You're looking at what is deeply important to you, what is deeply powerful for you, what you want the most. And you're being open and honest with yourself. You're also seeing people for who they truly are, not who they simply want to be. And that is going to be very powerful and very beautiful for you. There's also a sense of the world speaking to you in riddle and rhyme, which can be very, very annoying. Spirit speaking to you in riddle and in rhyme, and a sense of, do I move forward this way? Do I not move forward this way? And you really need to let yourself digest the information and move forward wisely, okay? Because I'm really getting the Oracle of Delphi feel here. The Oracle of Delphi, people came from all over the ancient world to hear what you had to say, right? But she spoke in rhyme, and it wasn't always clear. And that's the thing with our life purpose, with the sacredness of us moving forward. It's not always clear. But if we stay true to our innate selves, right? And if we stay true to what we are seeing and not let the fact that everybody else makes it appear that, life is becoming so much more, for them, that everything is so much more for them, and that we're behind, we then move forward in greater knowledge and greater understanding, because we're not buying into the lies that other people are selling. And this is because we're seeing the truth of things. You can also be very aware of other people's, ideas, other people's movements, other people's way of being, and what that symbolizes more greatly for the way that you are moving forward, or for the ideas that they have. All right, let's look at your spirit animal message for this time. Aquarius, October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. October 1st to the 15th, 2020 Aquarius. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, you have 3. Fantastic. And what I love about the spirit animals is that if you see these animals in the wild, or you see an image of these animals, This is your angels and your spirit guides tapping you on the shoulder, Aquarius, saying, remember this message. So we're starting with the bee spirit. I love it. And this says, sweet results await. So there is a sweetness coming into your life. And we have to remember the sweetness, because sometimes all we taste is the bitterness of things. So knowing that sweet results await are beautiful. And then we have the mouse spirit. Oh, another one of my favorites. This is tend to the small things, okay? And this is so important. I was going to say bring a gentle touch, which I feel like Spirit is saying, okay, say that too, which, that's the deer spirit. But there is a sense of tend to the small things and bring a gentle touch as you do so, okay? That's just going to be very important for you. Because we look at things and we like the grand gestures. We like the firework moments, the times where everybody can ooh and ah over us and over what's going on. But it's the small things. It's kind of like having a relationship, right? And you're with this person and they make a huge fuss over you when somebody's around. Oh my gosh, you're the best person in the whole entire world when everybody else can see. When the doors are closed, they couldn't care less. All right? And how does that make you feel? It makes you feel horrible. And it makes you doubt, like, what am I doing wrong? You take that on yourself. It's like, no, if they can't tend to the small things, then they don't get you, right? So here with the mouse spirit, it's tending to the small things. It's saying the small things matter. And the small things matter for you. So it's tending to the small things, because sometimes they matter more than what everybody else can see. And then it brings you to the dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. Don't let other people make you feel guilty or doubting your loyalty to what you love. Be loyal to what you love and let that shine you forward. Let that really be a part of you. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the vulture spirit. Oh, I love this one too. Nothing is wasted. And, that is powerful, because so often we look at the hurts, the pains, the disappointments we have been through, the angers, the upset, and we think, wow, those are years gone. I'll never get them back. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was so stupid. But no, nothing's wasted. Nothing is ever wasted. And there is power and there is beauty in all the pain and all the muck and the mire that you have been through. Your subconscious people message is the Death card. Scorpio energy, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, a transformative time awaits you. You are walking between worlds, between the practical and the spiritual, and you are finding your power, your place, and your purpose. Your subconscious chakra message is meditation, the crown chakra. Meditating on what your heart wants, on the thoughts that are crowning you. And I really love your crown chakra to really take things quite literally. What crown are you wearing as you meditate? And it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be this whole big thing where you have a meditation room and everything like that. It can be just sitting back and seeing how you crown yourself. Is it an elaborate, beautiful crown? Is it something more simple, more sedate? Is the crown broken? Do you feel you're not worthy of having a crown upon your head at all? Is it tarnished? Do you go to take it out of the box and put it on your head? And does it fall apart? What is your crown? Connect with your heart. Let your mind and your heart speak to each other. It is so important. And see that crown that you put upon your head. I can tell you my crown. It's a silver circlet. Sometimes it's gold. It changes with the mood. With a teardrop of amethyst on it. Over my third eye. Simple, yes. Powerful, yes. It does not have to be the fanciest thing in the world. How do you crown you? Your subconscious tarot message is the magician. The magician takes the gift, so you're very inclined to take this gift of the Ace of Wands. And you stand before your altar of existence. And you say, as above, so below. As I think it, so it becomes. Again, what crown do you wear? It could be a simple wreath of flowers. What crown do you wear? where does your magic come from? Because for me, magic is turning inward and seeing that God's head within, seeing the power and the beauty that is hidden within us. Your subconscious, to go deeper, is the Ten of Wands. You're putting down the burdens that you carry, the weight, the despair, the heartbreaks, the pains, the way that you pick up the burdens for everybody else. And you say, it is now time to move forward for me. And it's time to set ablaze what I want and what I desire. A beginning, 1, an ending, 10. Subconsciously, you begin a new journey by letting go of the past, by ending the past journey. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of the negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as we move forward in passion, in beauty, and in truth. As we embrace the God's head within, as we know that stardust flows through our veins, that we are part of the universe, and the universe is part of us, and that connects us to something great, and that greatness lies within each and every one of us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.